take a look around. I think people should really be proud. This is great. This is what the ambiance is all for, I think. To get everybody together. So thank you very much for coming. A lot of people said in the last couple of days, like, I can't believe Davies is going to be here and all this stuff. Well, I think it's not that surprising in a sense. You've got somebody, an artist who always wants to try new things. You've got a school that wants to try new things. So it seems pretty natural to me that Dave is here tonight. I think just quite simply, Dave Davies, the legendary Dave Davies.
Hi everyone, great to be here. I hope you all realise that tonight you're a part of a great experiment. Because I'm doing some stuff tonight I've never done before, so you're guinea pigs, if you don't mind. Well, this is really the song that started it all, and the Kinks. So have you got any earplugs? Girl, you really got me going. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. You really got me. You really got me. Come on everybody, clap your hands. See, don't ever set me free. I always wanna be by your side. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. Oh yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. You really got me. You really got me. You really got me. See, don't ever set me free. I always wanna be by your side. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. You really got me. You really got me. You really got me. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. When I was 15 years old, I was experimenting with my guitar in the front room. 15 years old. What year was that? I can't think. Can't imagine. But all the guitar amps that they had at this time were kind of like this kind of sound, like really clean, you know. And my brother Ray had written this riff on the piano with 2 notes. Anybody interested in music? Anybody know what those? Does anybody know what those two notes are? You really got me? No? Oh, it doesn't matter. And he was playing these 2 notes on the piano, da, 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 which is kind of borrowed from an old jazz riff, really. The guitar sounds all sounded like this. You know, because we were big fans of like Buddy Holly and the Crickets and bands like that, and the guitar sounds all were sounding a bit like really clean and stuff. If you knew Peggy Sue. Does anybody know that song? You're all too young. You're all too young to know that kind of stuff. But anyway, they were the types of... What? Hey, I'm glad to hear it. I was getting so fed up with this guitar sound. On every record, that my amplifier, I got this little amplifier in a radio store. It was just up the road from where we lived in Muswell Hill. I'm sure everybody's heard of Muswell Hill. And anyway, it was a tiny little green amp, and it sounded very clean. So what I did, I got so frustrated, I got a razor blade, and I cut the cone of the speaker, and the sound changed from this to this. Right? Can you tell the difference? I can't. It's my ears. After all these years, you know. Right? So that's how the sound was born in whenever it was, 1960. And I'm sure you're all very glad you know that. But there were hosts of influences when we were starting out, and one of my biggest influences was a guy called Eddie Cochran, and all these great blues guys like Muddy Waters, and I could go on forever and ever. And a lot of the 60s bands like the Beatles and Stones and us, we were all very driven by these sounds that we were hearing from America. You know, Little Richard was a big influence on all of us at the time. No, there was a lot of blues guys around that I used to like, and when we were playing R&B clubs, as they called them, like nightclubs, I had to be careful going in these clubs because I was underage. I was only like 15, playing in a band, so they used to have to sneak me in the back door. But there was a song I particularly liked doing that we did on our first album, and because I was a bit of a wild kid, and I did like the ladies or the girls. And it's a song called Long Tall Shorty. They call me Long Tall Shorty, 'cause I know what love is all about. They call me Long Tall Shorty, 'cause I know what love is all about. Well, I can tell you where the lights go, ooh, when they go out. Girls, if you get lonely, dial 424-689. Girls, if you get lonely, dial 424-689. And your troubles will be over. I'll even give you back your dime. When the Kinks first had all those lovely hits in the 60s, and then of course the greatest thing for me, the greatest excitement I had really was the first time I ever came to America. It was a fantasy before that. Country with all these great influences, all this great music, from Hank Williams to Frank Sinatra. I was a big Frank Sinatra fan. So we came over to the States and found out that all you Americans were just as crazy as we were. And screaming girls and screaming guys. And the screaming guys came later. Well, not that much later. And it was great. We had a great tour. Our first tour was really fabulous. And we played at the Apollo in New York with Dave Clark 5. And the Supremes, which were great. And the first couple of weeks were fabulous, having chauffeur-driven limos everywhere and stuff like that. By the time we got to San Francisco, we weren't a very organised bunch, because like the Stones and the Beatles and the Animals, who were a great band, who came just about that time, and Beatles obviously came over here before. They had like a really well-honed PR machine, And we didn't really have a very organised PR setup. In fact, we didn't really have a very organised management at the time, but that's another boring story. And so by the time we got to San Francisco, the tour was in a bit of chaos, and we had some problems with the unions, and I don't think our management realised how powerful the unions were in the 60s. And anyway, we got sent back to England, and we got banned, and we couldn't play in the States for 3 years, which was sad. But anyway, I have a book out called Kink, right? Don't know if anybody's read it. It doesn't matter. You can buy it later. Talking about schools, and I wasn't particularly that great at school. I had a good time, most of the time. But I was a bit of a rebel at school. I didn't really enjoy it very much. But a few times that I did enjoy it, there was a little passage from my book when we had this particularly nice French teacher. I'll just read an extract from the book. It was at the William Grimshaw School that I set out to impress a woman for the first time. She was Miss Joshua, my English and French teacher. That sounds a bit... Anyway. And I had a terrible crush on this woman. I actually excelled for some time at both subjects. That's English and French. Towards the end of that year, I had taken up boxing and was picked alongside others, including my brother Ray, to represent the school in the Middlesex School Boxing Championships. And boxing was something I really needed to learn, being in the music business. Both Ray and I had some practice with boxing. There were always boxing gloves in the house that belonged to my sister Dolly's husband Joe, whose brother had taken, who'd been an amateur boxer. One day, Ray and I decided to have a boxing match with each other in the front room. I was about 9, he was 12. I caught him with a lucky punch, and he fell and hit the side of his head on the piano. I thought that I'd killed him. He was lying there. He was lying there with his eyes closed, and I went and bent over him, shaking him, saying, "Ray, Ray, what's the matter?" I was panicking. I thought that I'd killed him. "What's the matter?" I was overcome with concern and panic. Yeah. I got really close to see if he was breathing. Suddenly he opened his eyes, and with a vicious and angry glare, he raised his right arm and punched me full in the face. But anyway, the point is that it was kind of always like that with Ray and I. You know, it's like gamesmanship and one-upmanship. I don't know, I'm sure that some of you here are part of some kind of family. When you have brothers and sisters and stuff, it's tough, you know. Well, it was tough for us. My manager persuaded me to do this song that I wrote on my mum's piano. It was like, I guess I've been partying since 1964 to 1968, solidly. So I was getting pretty crazy by this time. And one night I came home from a long night clubbing, and I felt really depressed, you know, all the hangers-on and liggers, and I felt like a bit of a clown in a circus, you know, and I felt really depressed. So I thought, the same old piano in my mum's front room, it's just all the songs that we wrote on this funny old piano. And I wrote this song that was called Death of a Clown. So I'm going to try and do it for you tonight. And there's a la la chorus. Anyone feel like singing along tonight, yeah? Ah. A little clap maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the beat, yeah! Oh man! Don't you just hate that? Just do it a little bit quieter, please. A little bit louder. Maybe a bit faster. Faster, 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 faster. Ah! Thank you so much. The old gags are always the best. My makeup is dry and it cracks round my chin. I'm drowning my sorrows in whiskey and gin. The lion tamer's whip doesn't crack anymore. The lions, they don't bite and the tigers don't roar. Let's all drink to the death of love. I want someone help me to break up this crowd. Let's all drink to the death of crowd. The old fortune teller lies dead on the floor. Nobody needs fortunes told anymore. The trainer of insects is crouched on his knees and frantically looking for a runaway fleas. La 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 la. Let's all drink to the death of a clown. Oh, will someone help me to break up this crowd? Let's all drink to the death of a clown. La 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 la. La 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 la. Does anybody fancy coming up here and singing with me? Everybody sing, okay? Drink your coffee. There's no alcohol in here, right? It's really easy. All you got to do is sing la 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 if you don't know the words. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, everybody's got to sing. Even you at the back, all you lovely ladies and gentlemen at the back, you've got to sing, okay? Because I can see you all, even though you think I can't. I can see everybody here, especially at the back. So I've got really big eyes. You see, I've got big eyes. I got big eyes. I got them from my mother, looking all over England for me father. Come on, everyone, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, won't someone help me to break up this crowd? Let's all drink to the death of love. La 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 la. Oh, don't go away. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, that was beautiful, Leslie. Let's all drink to the death of a clown. Oh, won't someone help me to break up this crowd? Let's all drink to the death of a clown. La 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 la. A lot of the songs that I wrote were about the first time I ever fell in love. But I wrote this song when I was drunk. So I was really angry at the girl, really bitter. Happens sometimes, I'm afraid. Oh, Susanna's bedraggled, but she still wears a locket round her neck. She's got a picture on the table of a man who was young and able. Oh, Susanna's gonna cry. Oh, Susanna's still alive. Whiskey or a gin, that's alright. There's nothing in her bed at night. She sleeps with somebody gets in. Doesn't matter what she does, she knows that she can't win. Oh, Susanna's gonna cry. She's got a dog with one eye that always cries when you get some sleep. She's waiting for a soldier to come home, but she'll cry and never die. Oh, Susanna's gonna cry. Oh, Susanna's still alive. Whiskey or a gin, that's alright. There's nothing in her bed at night. She sleeps with the covers down, hoping somebody gets in. Doesn't matter what she does, she knows that she can't win. Oh, Susanna's still alive. Susanna's still alive. Oh, Susanna's gonna cry. Oh, Susanna's still alive. Thank you, you're very kind. Need all the help I can get. Another sad song about loss, about the same girl. Anybody feel like clapping? Woo! Come on, everybody. Lovely. I wish that you could see all the things that I am seeing. This mind of mine is making life worthwhile. I wish that you'd have known all the plans I had in store for us. Laughing, dancing, traveling the world of our own. But this man, he weeps tonight, and his head is bowed with sorrow. But what can you do sitting there when you let him cry tomorrow? Yes, you let him cry tomorrow. Yes, you let him cry tomorrow. I thought our thing would last, 'cause it said so in my horoscope. But days have gone and passed while dreaming away. The lights in here are dim, and the room closes in around me. Your picture's hanging loose on a rusty nail. And this man, he weeps tonight, and his head is bowed with sorrow. But what can you do sitting there Thank you so much. The Kinks had to virtually rebuild their career going back to the States. Again, sort of 69, 70. It was tough going. And some of the tours were getting really bad. We were playing colleges and you know what students are like when they're drunk. No, of course you don't. Misery tour. See, I've got it marked under misery tour. Some of those tours really were. By 1972, we had acquired a strong, if not unusual, following in the States as we continued to tour the States again. Straights, gays, groupies, transvestites, transsexuals. So it was quite different from when I first experienced in 1965, 64, 65, coming to America with all the screaming girls. By 71, 72, we were touring, and you'd come off stage and go out the stage door and there'd be all guys, or guys dressed as girls, but anyway, that's another story. There was a group of outrageous transvestite dancers and singers called the Cockettes. I remember one particular guy, a transvestite from San Francisco. Are there any children in the audience tonight? Maybe I should skip that bit. I don't think move on from there, I don't think that's a good idea. Are there any transsexuals in the audience? Any underage transsexuals? Actually, I think I'll skip that whole page. Yeah, I think so. Hang on, here we are. Oh, there was a party in LA, that's right. And everybody who was anyone was there. There were actors, actresses, sexy, buxom wannabes, record company executives, mixed with transsexuals. More transsexuals. Junkies, misfits from all walks of society. It's supposed to be a party. Someone put acid. You know what that is? I used to know what it is, but I can't remember. The party. I'd heard later that someone had put acid in the butter in the restaurant downstairs, and I'd heard later that people had to be carried out to the hospital screaming and stuff. It was a resounding success, I guess. Unfortunately, I was far too out of it to remember very much more. But people who were there still refer to it as the most outrageous party they ever attended in Los Angeles, and that's quite a feat. Towards the end of the tour, every night got worse and worse. We were homesick. We all wanted to get back to Blighty, get back to England. And the final gig of the tour was a college, another college, and had been added at the last minute. So none of us really wanted to do it, as everybody was eager to get home. We all drank a little bit too much before the show. I was so drunk that my guitar roadie sat me on a chair at the side of my amplifiers. During a song called Alcohol, Ray, my brother, started spraying beer all over the front of the stage, as like a gag for the crowd. While performing a balancing act with a beer bottle on his head, Ray slipped on the wet stage and fell and cracked his head on the floor, rendering him unconscious. So we're all drunk playing away terribly, and Ray's lying on the floor like this. Right. And the crowd, they think it's like just a part of the act. Okay. Unbelievable. Anyway, where were we? 2 stagehands ran on the stage and carried him off. I got up from my chair, which wasn't easy, And what did I do then? Oh, I was trying to play blues. We were doing this talk. You know, really drunken. Get up in the morning with a, you know, nobody can understand what we were singing. And we were sort of vamping through these 12 bars, hoping that any minute Ray would come back and finish the song. And you know, it was going. We were doing 12 bars for about 20 minutes in a different key this time. I got up this morning. I was sort of mumbling away some sort of inane rubbish. And I get down on my knees and try and play a solo. I can hardly stand up, let alone play my guitar. And a guy in the front row comes up to me while I'm playing, bending down and going, "Hey Dave, is Ray dead?" And of course I fell into uncontrollable laughter. You know, it was just hysterical. So I'm lying there laughing, playing the blues. Eventually Ray bravely came back on stage. By the looks of it, he was suffering from concussion and he was sporting a large bandage on his head. He looked ridiculous singing "You Really Got Me," done up like the Invisible Man. God, it was awful. It really was sad. After the show, John Gosling, our keyboard player, was so upset and distressed that he ran from the building crying. I don't know where he thought he was running to. Maybe he was trying in his drunkenness to run all the way home to England. Our tour manager chased him and slapped his face to calm him down. He was like a hysterical child. Afterwards, I drank myself into oblivion, which I did quite a lot. Boarded the plane back home with a hangover supreme. By this time, I was getting quite messed up inside. I guess I kind of looked okay on the outside. It's funny what you can get away with. A song. I think a song would be in order. Yeah? It's funny, when times got really bad, we always I suppose it's like a family thing, you know, you kind of get together when things are going tough and not going right. I don't mind. I've killed my world and I've killed my time. So where do I go? What will I see? I see many people coming after me. So where you going to? I don't mind. If I live too long, I'm afraid I'll die. So I will follow you wherever you go. If your offered hand's still open to me, strangers on this road we are. We are not two, we are one. Strangers on this road we are. We are not two, we are one. So you've been where I just come, from the land that brings losers on. So we will share the road we walk, and mind our mouths and beware our talk, till peace we find. Tell you what I'll do, all the things I own I will share with you. And if I feel tomorrow like I feel today, we'll take what we want and give the rest away. Strangers on this road we are on. We are not two, we are one. So when we get there, make your play, for soon I feel you're gonna carry us away in a promised lie you made us believe. For many men there is so much grief, but my mind is proud and it aches with rage. And if I live too long, I'm afraid I'll die. Strangers on this road we are on. We are not two, we are one. Strangers on this road we are on. We are not two, we are one. Yet another tour in the early 70s of America, and I was in New York. And that awful hotel, like a soulless prison. That fucking orange carpet. What demented idiot thought of the decor? And in the days, the Holiday Inns used to have really like bright carpets. And like if you were having a lot of mental problems, emotional problems, it's scary waking up and seeing that. God. New York City as well. It's not a great city to be crazy in. People are so crazy in this city. The city won't let me sleep. The more weak you get, the more paranoid you become. The more the voices come to torment you, to get you. During this trip to New York, my inner problems really came to a head. I was confused, dysfunctional, hypersensitive and drinking. Surprise. I just could not... This sounds like an AA meeting. Like anybody in here... Come on, stand up, those in AA, come on. Whose turn's it next? Oh, sad. I shouldn't laugh, it's tragic. I walked through the streets, feeling isolated and alone. The vibe of the city made my head reel. It was like a radio set where all the stations all switched on at once. I would pick up people's thoughts and think them my own. All I wanted to do was to go home. What was I doing here on tour with the band? I thought when I should be in a loony bin or a hospital, anywhere else but here. I was too tormented and too tearful to discuss my problems with anyone, particularly anyone I knew. And it's really strange. I don't know if there's anybody here that's been really on the verge of like breakdown or craziness. You're all too beautifully young to know about such things. But it's a horrible world. It really is in there. And you can't really speak properly, and like you can't collect your thoughts because you're so confused. And it's a horrible world. I can't imagine that any of you, I hope none of you ever experience it anyway. And I was walking the streets, and I felt like one of those crazy people that you see in the street. You think, oh my God, that guy's crazy. I felt like one of those people, talking to myself, you know. Unbelievable. I went back to that bloody hotel room. I felt I could trust no one. I thought these voices, right, the subtle influence they had over me would manipulate anyone who would try and help me, making things worse. Right? It's paranoia, right? A dreadful feeling of foreboding came over me. The voices, lurking everywhere, around every corner, awaiting any and every opportunity to attack. To goad me, confuse me, muddle my mind and my concentration. I thought, how can all this weird shit just be in my imagination? The thought of being ridiculed by my friends only added to my feelings of insecurity and paranoia. Also, I thought, how could everyone around me act so normal? Can't they hear these awful mocking voices? Obviously they couldn't. As I entered my hotel room, I began to feel as if I was being devoured by a dark, psychic swamp that was dragging me into a secret world and all its subtle and insidious power. I looked around the room and was overcome by an acute loneliness as I gazed out of the window and into the rain-soaked street below. By now the glass was streaking and dribbling with rainwater like furious tears. How could this be happening? How could I fight it? Who could I turn to? I frantically tried to reason. I had to find some logic to it all. Was this just one prolonged hallucination? I wondered if I may be suffering from permanent brain damage from drugs and alcohol and everything. Why wouldn't it go away? Why wouldn't they? I thought I would end up like one of those weird street people, the crazies that wander New York City streets shouting obscenities into the air. And I know, whenever I see these people, I know who they're shouting at. Down and down I was dragged further and further into a mental and emotional mire. The cityscape glared soullessly back at me through the window. Black, wet, dripping shadows of a world I no longer understood or wanted to be a part of. Soggy characters, toiling against time without making even the slightest impression on it. I unopened a bottle of Johnny Walker whiskey that sat on the table. God, is this what it's really like to be an alcoholic, I wondered. I shuffled and paced the room, anxious and afraid. That guy, I'm talking to myself right in a hotel room, pacing up and down, going crazy, okay. That guy, what was his name? Yeah, the guitar player was Sean Onar. I met him in London. Johnny, yeah, that was it. Dave, he said to me, always remember wherever you go, that's where you are. Yeah, great help. Got to keep moving. I continued to pace the room, too scared even to close my eyes. Hey, fucking great help, Johnny. A week after he told me that, he returned home and committed suicide. Very perceptive, Johnny. Where did you get that from? The back of a matchbox? Or out of a Chinese fortune cookie? Johnny. I'm just talking to myself in the room, right? I became startled when I realised that I was talking aloud to myself. I thought, thinking how fucked up we were, the world and everybody in it. Get out of my head, you bastards. Leave me alone, I was shouting. Wow, that's really great. Now I'm talking to myself. Perfect. That's just what I'm supposed to do now, isn't it? Of course it is. I laughed out loud again. Hello, is Dave there? You know that cheek and chong thing? Hello, I'm Dave. Is anybody old enough to know that? No, anyway. Is Dave there? I tapped my knuckles on the sideboard. Hello, is Dave there? Trying to humour me, trying to make yourself laugh. Hello, it's me. Is Dave there? More nervous laughter. Dave, how are you? Well, you know, Dave, I'm just fine. I'm just fine and dandy. Dandy? Dandy, where you gonna go now? Who you gonna run to? Yeah, I'm just great apart from the fact that I'm losing my fucking mind and falling uncontrollably into a dark and bottomless abyss. In a state of panic, I desperately tried to reassure myself that everything would be okay. I was thinking that maybe I would talk to someone that was going on, like the voices started again. Oh, hi, Mick, John. Guys, Mick was drummer and John's bass player in the band at the time. Guys, I was wondering if you could give me a hand with these voices that are running amok in my head. I mean, imagine someone coming up to you and saying that. I mean, has anybody said that to you? What would you say? I mean, get out of here. Crazy. I knew that if I wasn't taken seriously, the demons would surely get what they wanted. This is what really happens when you're in paranoia. You can't, it's a no-win situation, really. I knew if I wasn't taken seriously, the demons would surely get what they wanted. I tried to pull myself together. At least I could try to pretend that I was normal. Right? Isn't that what we all do anyway? Obviously not. I tried to pretend I was normal. Shit. I wasn't normal even when I wasn't crazy. I put my head in my hands and cried. I looked over at the window again. The voices said, "Jump, go on, jump. There's no other way. You'll never get back to the way you were before. It's too late, jump." I closed my eyes and silently prayed for help. First time really seriously prayed. Surely something could help me. As I got up and walked over to the window, there was a knock on the door. I opened it to find an old girlfriend of mine named Linda. I hadn't seen her for some time, but she had heard I was in town and decided at that moment to come over for a chat. We sat and talked for a while, and she could tell I was in a bad way. Her voice was calming and soothing. She told me that she had taken up nursing and had been on a special course, so she couldn't get to the shows like she used to. Recently, she had been training in a psychiatric wing of the hospital where she worked. If ever I needed a nurse, it was then, or an angel. I told her about my confusion, or tried to, because I was having a problem speaking. It wasn't easy. She told me she was on her way to see her young nephew and reached in her pocket and pulled out a handful of black spiders from her pocket. I jumped, startled, until I realised that they were only those little Halloween things, plastic ones, from a joke shop. She laughed. For a minute I thought that they were real. I burst out crying and laughing at the same time. Has anybody here have you ever done that? Cry and laugh at the same time? It's not easy. God, I thought, what a relief. I thought, maybe there is a God after all. How close had I come to actually jumping out of the window? I never knew. The intervention of an angel saved me. I truly believe that. I know that I've been helped many times in my life, sometimes quite inexplicably. As from this day, I no longer believed in coincidence, and from that day forward, I believed in God. I became extremely interested in mental illness, and when I got back to England, mental illness had always fascinated me. I felt that by the use of certain mental techniques, combined with the way, like tonal therapy, like music and stuff like that, we can help alleviate some negative mental conditions. So this kind of set me on I was starting to think about life in a different way. I was only beginning to unravel the many mysteries of the world and the mind. I learned from this terrible situation that I had the strength of will to cut through this crap. But it didn't happen overnight. It was an extremely grueling process. I was about to embark on an inner journey that would eventually completely change the way I felt and thought about myself and the world around me. And what I did, I got back to England and I started to get into like yoga and get interested in spiritualism. And do they call it spiritualism over here? You know, talking to the spirits, are they only spirits? But I really got into it and I learned a lot that maybe a lot of these kind of crazy things that people think they see, maybe they are there. Or maybe if they're there to them, that maybe we should help them with it, I don't know. But, and that's why I got really interested in yoga and astrology, and I used to do charts for my kids. And I found it was a great kind of scientific way of sort of fitting things together. You know, like what people like and their personalities and how they gel and how they work and how they interact with each other. I thought this is wonderful. This is a great means to find out information. Anyway, I had an album out in 1982, which was an album that was dedicated to a really great man who's no longer with us, a guy called Dr. George King, and he showed me a lot about like how to use your mind and how to use energy, because we're all energy beings, aren't we? Don't you think, really? What are we if we're not? Was there anybody here interested in metaphysics at this college? One? Hands up! Because we've all got to know something about it going into the new millennium, you know that, don't you? In some shape or form, no? Anyway, I made this album, I called it Chosen People, and the theme of the album was, apart from being a dedication to this great man who was like, really helped me a lot, understand like workings of the mind and how we interact with each other on a spiritual level, if you like. It's also an album about that we're all chosen people. You know, we're all chosen to help each other. That's what I think. Love gets you anyway, any way it can. Love gets you anyway, any way it can. Close my eyes and think of you, my love. This space is full of you, my love. Oh, hold me tight here in your arms tonight. Love gets you any way you want it, any way you can. Love gets you any way you want it, any way you can. Goodbye, lonely, now my life's begun. All those nights I used to sit alone. Oh, promise me you'll need me always. Love gets you anyway, any way it can. Love gets you any way you want it, any way you can. All I want's your love. Keep telling me soft and clear, there's no other one. Love me forever, dear. Love gets you any way you want it, any way you can. Love gets you anyway. Thanks a lot, you're very kind. The Kinks had always, throughout our career, whatever the word is, we've always kind of had to struggle. It's always been like up and down, struggling to survive. And I think that was kind of like, in the mid-80s I wrote a song which is about all that struggle, about walking on a tightrope, you know. It's a song called Living on a Thin Line. All the stories have been told of kings and days of old, but there's no England now. All the wars that were won or lost somehow don't seem to matter very much anymore. All the lies we were told, all the lives of the people running round, their castles are burned. How I see change, but inside we're the same as we ever were. Living on a thin line. Ooh, tell me now, what are we supposed to do? Living on a thin line. Ooh, tell me now, what are we supposed to do? living on a thin line. Living this way each day's a dream. Tell me now, what are we supposed to do? Living on a thin line. Ooh, tell me now, what are we supposed to do? Now another century nearly gone. What are we gonna leave for the young? What we couldn't do or what we wouldn't do, it's a crime, but does it matter? Does it matter much? Does it matter much to you? Does it ever really matter? Yes, it really, really matters. Living on a thin line. Ooh, tell me now, what are we supposed to do? Living on a thin line. Ooh, tell me now, what are we supposed to do? Then another leader says, break their hearts or break some heads. Is there nothing we can say or do? Blame the future on the past, always lost in bloody dance. And when they're gone, it's me and you, living on a thin line. Tell me now, what are we supposed to do? Living on a thin line. Ooh, tell me now, what are we supposed to do? I don't know if any of you had a chance to check out my websites. No? I run 2 websites, which I'm really excited about. I love all this new technology, you know. And I think it's just a fabulous way of communicating information really quick. I love it. Saves having to go to school. But I run 2 websites. One, I have a site called, which is just davies.com, which has all music-oriented stuff. Anybody seen it? Anybody seen it? Oh, you have? Well done. Also, I run another site. It's called Spiritual Planet. And the object of this, which is something I've wanted to do for ages, and it was kind of like just waiting for the internet to be born so I could do it. It's really an idea I had some time ago in the early 80s about having like a place where people voice their views about all kinds of spiritual stuff, you know, and all, you know, regardless of what religion they are or anything. And really, the Spiritual Planet is about synthesis of like ideas of a spiritual nature. I think it's a really exciting time, and I've got some great people that are helping me with it, that are contributing to it. I have spiritual healers that are locked into it and very excited about it. I have astrologers, which none of you are interested in, but that's okay. I have work that I've written, that's inspired work that I've written regarding like meditation, which I think is so important now, probably more than any other time in our history. Does anybody out there meditate? Great. You know, it's time we really believe it's time we have to go inward and find all these energies that we can utilise to really change the world. We keep looking at the world as an external thing and blaming it all on external things when all the problems and answers can be resolved inwardly, I think. But anyway, I don't want to stand up here preaching. But you can check it out on Spiritual Planet. There's all kinds of stuff. I've got like eminent Hindu teachers that are helping me with stuff that are fantastic. It's just a great place, it really is. And if you've got questions you want to ask, you can people just write in and, you know. I'm just thinking about all those poor buggers like, you know, like that guy who was walking around the street in New York in 1972 and didn't know what to do, you know. Because if he sat down and started to speak to somebody, no one would know what was the matter with him because they thought he was crazy. But I don't think any of us are really crazy. Different, maybe, from each other. But check it out. There's a portion of the site that I'm very excited about, and it's a section called Healing Sanctuary. And it's really basically about spiritual healing. And it's about energy. And like there's a place where you can log in, and you can sit and receive healing in this place that I've designed in cyberspace. You know? And it's early stages yet, but I've had people saying, you know, that I felt really depressed and I sat in front of the screen and he did the practices, and it's really easy to do. You just sit there and you absorb it. The hard thing is getting people to sit still for 5 minutes. It really is. You know, when you mention the word meditation, everybody goes, oh. But like, it's really important. It really is important for us all. And this guy saying, you know, he sat in front of it, and after a while he felt really good. You know, it doesn't matter whether it's psychological or whether it really is metaphysics, and it's really, this energy is flowing through space and the ethers. I don't think it really matters. If it works, it works. You know, it's like if someone's crazy and they jump up and down, spin around a few times, and, you know, pull their hair up and pull their ears like they do in some Hindus. And like you've ever seen them do that? It's great. It did. They pull the earlobes and it releases fluids in the brain. I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm having a great time. Anyway, to cut a long story short, you can receive healing, and better still, what's better than receiving, right? Giving. So you can give healing, and you can log in, and there's really easy practices. Because we have psychic centers in the palms of our hands, our heart, and in our bodies. And like, it's great. You can do it, and you feel better afterwards. And it's fun. But you should check it out anyway. There wasn't a lot of money going around in our house. I grew up in like a pretty, working class family in North London, but there was always, my mum was a tremendous woman, a great spirit, great soul. And she was my first guru, my mother, my best friend. She was really cool. And a lot of Kinks music, and I'm sure my brother said it lots of times, that it's drawn and inspired really by my family and growing up. And we had such a great family. And everybody mucked in, and it was really good. And I feel so thankful to be involved with so much great music over the years, with stuff like Lola and Low Budget and Phobia and all these great albums. I feel very lucky to be a part of all that stuff, which I can't even touch on tonight because it just isn't time. That's my excuse. But, Ray and I have always had problems, but I guess it doesn't matter. Maybe you're supposed to have problems and then just work it out. Yeah. But I must say that I think that my brother Raymond has written some tremendous songs, really classy songs. And I'd like to do a song that he wrote, which has always been one of my favourite songs, and it's a song called Young and Innocent Days. I look back at the way I used to look at life. So was sugar-coated outside. It was great, so great, young and innocent days. I wish my eyes could only see everything exactly as it used to be. It's too late, so late, young and innocent days, young and innocent days. I see the lines upon your face. Time has gone, and nothing ever can replace those great, so great, young and innocent days, young and innocent days. Thank you very much. Oh, you're great. I love you. Thank you. I'd like to thank Linda and Michael Kraus for, putting this weird event on. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank you all for being here and for being very attentive in which a show which is very experimental for me anyway. So this is one of my favourite Kinks songs. I'll keep it short because I know you all want to go home. Oh, I won't take all that they hand me down. I'll make out I smile though I wear a frown. And I'm not gonna take it all lying down, 'cause once I get started I go to town. I'm not like everybody else. 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 I don't want to live my life like everybody else. And I don't want to get a job like everybody else. And I won't say that I feel fine like everybody else. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not like everybody else. Darling, you know that I love you true. I'll do anything that you want me to, confess all my sins like you want me to. But there's one thing I will say to you. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not like everybody else. Are you? I'm not like everybody else. I'm not like everybody else. I don't wanna hang around like everybody else. But I don't wanna get a job like everybody else. And I won't say that I feel fine like everybody else. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not like everybody else. Oh, if you all want me to settle down, slow up and stop all my running around. Do everything like you want me to. There's just one thing I will say to you. I'm not like everybody else. 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 And I don't want to get a job like everybody else. And I don't want to go to school like everybody else. And I won't say that I feel fine like everybody else. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not like everybody else. Like everybody else. Like everybody else. Like everybody else. Like everybody, everybody, everybody else. Thank you, I love you, God bless you, and good night. Thank you.